Hi, my name is Manish Tandon, and I'm a technical marketing engineer for Cisco working in the Unified Computing Platform, also known as UCS. This video is one in a series of videos that we'll be doing to showcase the unique value propositions of UCS. In this video, I'll be talking about the BIOS policies framework, which allows one to specify the BIOS settings for a server as part of the service profile. So if you look at the BIOS settings, typically they have been done by logging onto the server through the console, pressing F2 and getting into the BIOS settings screen, which looks something like this. So in this case, you have options like quiet boot enabled or disabled, the system date and time. In advanced settings, you have the processor settings, you have the memory configurations, the serial port configuration, similarly security, server management, boot options, etc. So one way to change these BIOS settings would be to press F2 on the console of every server as they are assigned to a service profile and make the changes manually. The second way of doing it is through the service profile and the BIOS policies framework. So if you look at a service profile within UCS, these are logical entities which define the identity of a server. So in this case, I will choose an existing service profile. If you click on the General Storage Network tab, it all defines what storage settings, what network settings, what boot order, etc. In policies section, amongst other policies like the firmware, scrub, etc., we have the BIOS policy. So in this case, right now, the BIOS policy is not set. To understand the BIOS policies, let's look at the BIOS defaults first. So for all the platforms which are supported, all the server platforms which are supported within UCS right now, we have the BIOS defaults. So looking at the B200M1, the default settings are quiet boot enabled, post error pause is disabled. Similarly for advanced, you have the processor settings, the directed IO settings, RAS memory, serial port. Pretty much all the settings that you can find in the BIOS screen when you press F2 on the console of a server. So to create a BIOS policy, you can click on New, you can give it a name, and in this case, you can specify what options do you want. In case quiet boot, I want it enabled, disabled this time. Otherwise, I can leave it to be platform default. Similarly for processor, if you want turbo boost enabled or disabled, RAS memory, USB, PCI configuration, etc. So once I have the settings in place for a particular server that I want, I can click on finished and this BIOS policy is created. Now to associate it to a service profile, I click on the service profile once again. I go into the policies and the BIOS policy. I select the ESX servers. I say save changes to it. Now I can take this service profile and associate it to a physical plate. When I do this, now the system is when it rewrites the identity with the service profile information. As part of that, all the BIOS settings as defined in our BIOS policy are also pushed down to the server. The advantages of this are that for once you create this, it's an automated process. So looking at a service profile, you know for sure that a particular blade or a server is running with the exact BIOS settings that are desired. Hopefully you found this video useful. For more information and similar videos on the UCS architecture and its unique propositions, go to http://www.cisco.com/go/UCS. Thank you.